to Under the Spotlight. This evening we are looking at the upcoming local government elections. There are a lot of excitement has been generated around this election, but some of the things we want to do before we just look in a kind of a benign way at the elections, we want to look at some of the incidents that are taking place surrounding the elections. We have a gentleman who is Mr. Lawton Mackenzie, who is one of the people who is going to be participating in the local government elections. And he has gotten himself nominated as a independent candidate. So we're going to go straight to Mr. Mackenzie for now, just to tell us some things. And I'm going to tell you something about Mr. Mackenzie when I get back. Let's do this for now.
Discussing this matter of expulsions from both political parties, 7 for the JLP and 4 from the PNP for their roles in either going independent and running against the party's prospective candidate or actually switching sides. We have 2 of those who have been expelled with us from the PNP, Southeast St. and Lydia Richards, and from the Greenfield Division in Western Westmoreland, Lawton Mackenzie. Mr. Mackenzie, I saw your statement earlier today that this did not come as a shock to you, but you still, just as Lydia Richards said, consider yourself in line with the values of the PNP.
I hope my interview, if you don't have enough time, let me make it clear to the country and to the world. When Mark Golden was coming as party leader, I called Peter Bunting and asked him where Mark is going, and he gave me the assurance that Mark is me is Mark, and Mark is him. Now, let me tell you, I am one of the original persons that helped to build the constituency that Mark Golden now is the member of parliament. If you look into my passport, I am a trade unionist by profession. I am from the Trade Union Congress of Jamaica, which is former Senator Upton Kim. Let me further tell you that I have never yet joined any political party. And when I leave Jamaica, I went to America. I was recruited by the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, the most honorable state officer, to rebuild the People's National Party. These bunch of losers, they either was NDM, DPJ, or the Jamaica Labour Party. They cannot accept what they do. It is no surprise. Here was a part of the Edward Siaga advisor. individual.
Okay, sorry about that. There's a bit of an issue, and I'm sorting it out. Welcome to today's edition of the live, and right here it is. I got myself in some trouble here because let me see if I get this sorted out. Oh, oh my. It's not it at all. Well, let me do this and then I will try to go to another clip because I have, I just realized that something was not set right in this thing. So bear with me a second. I'm going to get it sorted out. I'm going to play the second tape and then hopefully I can get it sorted out and I'll come back.
Last week or the week before, I told the chairman of the party that I don't need nothing from Mark Golden. I don't beg Mark Golden nothing. He has nothing to offer to me. I am a PMP and I'm the people's choice. And I am willing that anything they want to do, even if they want to take my life, I am going to stand by the people of Granger.
Hold on, Lord.
Hold
on, Lord. I heard you say something. You said a lot. Are you saying that when you went to that meeting that Mark Golding promised to give you, that Dr. Dayton Campbell told you that whatever Ian Hales wants, Ian Hales has to get? Is that correct?
100%. You can call my two other colleagues, and I'm happy for them.
But hold on, Lord. Don't drift, Lord. Stay with me.
No.
On what basis did they say they have to give Ian Hales what he wants?
Because of what it came, and when Mark used the F word.
The F word?
Yes.
You mean that same F word that ends with a Y?
I cannot repeat to you on this year.
No, you can't tell me on the ear, but give me an idea. There are many words that start with F, but is that F word?
F off.
Okay, F off. Okay, you're saying that Mark Golding said that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's your account, all right?
And then the Campbell respond by trying to quash the word and said anything that Ian Hales wants. Who is Ian Hales? Ian Hales was a person that in the seat where Mark Meadows is today. Who is Ian Hales? A former member of Parliament for Western Hanover and a couple Sundays ago. Mark Golding about it. And Ian Hales as a former member of Parliament, a former region chairman, and the vice president of the People's National Party in charge of County of Cornwall could not accompany the party leader vote.
Why him couldn't go with him?
Because the people, maybe he would not be alive today.
Oh? That's how strongly the people are against Ian Hales?
People tell Mark Golding, go over the border and carry Ian Hales.
So is it, based on the history you gave Lawton Mackenzie about yours relative to Ian Hales' history, is it that your problem with Ian Hales is about how he conducts his politics?
I can give you more.
Yes.
Ian Hales is a power grabber. And if it was not for Ian Hales, the People's National Party, and I'm warning the PMP throughout Jamaica, Ian Hales come to me and ask me to overthrow DK Duncan for and make him be a region chairman. And I told him, no.
Oh.
He successfully removed DK Duncan, removed Life Estimate, and put a lady who is associated to him. And the war started. We are 2 terms out of office by a power grabber who has just jumped from the Jamaica Labour Party and come into the People's National Party.
All right, that was better. Yeah, I got that going. Um, the thing was grabbing an old program, and I'm hoping that my people have caught on and will be able to join me. And it is now sorted out. So, I still have a few more invites to send out. But anyway, as you can see, this evening, what we're looking at is, what's going on, what is behind my thing here saying that is how former PNP councillors plan to win as independent. All right, so we just heard from Mr. Lawton McKenzie, and Mr. McKenzie is a very strong candidate in his own division, and that's that division is out in Westmoreland, and name is not coming to mind right now, but has been given a report as to the treatment meted out to him by those in charge of the People's National Party. The ones we have come to learn that these people are the ones they call the risers, because as you know, the party has been split, and you have a group there's one group they call the risers, and another group is just PNP, and they seem like they're unable to bring things back. There's a break, but it's like Humpty Dumpty. You can never put it back together again. It appears under these people because they've made some of the weirdest decisions. Those who are in charge, the riser people are in charge. They chase out people, some of the best people out of the party, and we have gone through this before. And here we now have, showing up as we prepare for the elections, we now have, what is it, about, I know it's 7 on one side, 7 PNP people who have declared themselves to be, those who left, were pushed out of the party. So 7 of them have put themselves up to be representatives, independent representatives. This gentleman who we just heard the 2 clips from, Lawton McKenzie. Lawton McKenzie is a man, Granger division, I was trying to remember, in Westmoreland. He's a man who has been representing Granger for the longest while, and he is a very popular person out in that area. In fact, let me say to you, Lawton McKenzie is supposed to come on this program he should have been here for 8, but he's campaigning. And I didn't want to make an announcement because I know things were iffy with him. And what I did, I reached out to him earlier, and he said to call him at 9. So, because he was in a meeting, he's the man, the chief of his group. And if they're having a meeting, he has to be there. So he's going to come. Hopefully we get him to come. But if he doesn't come, we have some clips and we're going to try. I've used up 2 of them already. But what we'll try to do is to keep the program going until 9 o'clock and to then hopefully bring him on to tell us how he hopes to win. Last week we heard from one candidate. And well, he's not connected to any of the 2 parties, but he's an independent running under his group, under his party as a party named UIC, and he's going to be running. And so whether he has any, oomph to his campaign, we don't know. But what we know is people like Lawton McKenzie, who represented the PNP for many years, and he's one of those who was pushed out. And, what he just reported was some of the weirdest behavior that we hear coming from the People's National Party. And this is supposed to be the executive level. The president come down to his general secretary, and some people don't talk. Some of them don't talk. You don't hear from some of them, but some of them talk a lot. Like the Gen Sec, he will talk a lot. And he seemed to be getting himself more and more and more into the miry clay, as for lack of a better expression right now. He has found himself sinking deeper and deeper every time he opens his mouth and tries to give, to justify or to give reasons for some of his decisions. And this Lawton McKenzie is showing us how he does business, because they had a meeting. They went to the headquarters, and the president looked at Lawton McKenzie and told him to F off, because he says he wants to put a certain man in place of the constituency. This is a larger thing now, the entire, I think it is Western Westmoreland. Nobody wants the person that he wants to put there. There's this guy named Ian, I think it's Ian Hale, yeah? He wants to put Ian Hale there, and nobody seems to want him. And when they asked for a meeting with the president, Mr. Lawton McKenzie, and he represents the Grange, like I said before, the Grange Hill Division in Western Westmoreland. He asked for a meeting with the president. He went to the meeting, and when he tried to say he didn't want Ian Hale, because Ian Hale has a very bad reputation from a different constituency in Lucy, the adjoining parish, and the reputation is so bad that it seeps over into this Western Westmoreland constituency. And they said they don't want him representing them because to them he's bad news. Well, the president, who seemed to have no tact when he's dealing with people, he just looked at this gentleman, Mr. Lawton McKenzie, and told him to F off. And what he said, I'm going to replay it. And when Dayton Campbell heard it and was apparently taken aback by it and tried to, wash it away, cover it up, polish it over, put mascara or whatever on it to hide it, it didn't help, because these are, men of means. These are not little boys coming around to beg something. And as Lawton McKenzie said, he's one of those people who actually helped to build the party when P.J. Patterson took it over. Because there was, friction in the party, but people like him, he's a trade unionist, he knows how to negotiate, and apparently PJ had brought him in to help straighten things out. And as everybody knows, things had settled down in the PNP, because that was a much bigger break. Could have been a much bigger break, because that was PJ versus Portia. And Portia is a beloved figure in the party. And PJ did the right thing as a leader. He brought in this man, Lawton one of the people he brought in was Lawton McKenzie to help to sort it out. And it was sorted out because the party settled down, and PJ lasted nearly 18, almost 20 years as leader of the People's National Party and government, and formed the government for over 18 years. Over 18 years. And so it shows you that if you have the right people in place, you're gonna have all kinds of friction, because you're having hundreds of different people coming from different backgrounds, from different way of life, different outlook on life, viewpoints about things, and it's gonna be a lot of friction going on, a lot of dissonance, all that kind of stuff. But if you have the right people in place, and if you have that type of leader who knows how to deal with matters, he will do the right thing and fix things. Now, Mark Golding seemed to be lacking here. I want to play this back because I kind of got off to a rocky start, because the thing was picking up the wrong file and our link. So here we go again. All right.
Last week or the week before, I told the chairman of the party that I don't need nothing from Mark Golding. I don't beg Mark Golding nothing. He has nothing to offer to me. I am a PMP, and I am the people's choice. And I am willing that anything they want to do, even if they want to take my life, I am going to stand by the people of Grange.
Hold on, Lord. I heard you say something. You said a lot. Are you saying that when you went to that meeting that Mark Golding promised to give you, that Dr. Dayton Campbell told you that whatever Ian Hales wants, Ian Hales has to get? Is that correct?
100%. You can call my
drift, Lawton. Stay with me.
No.
On what basis did they say they have to give Ian Hales what he wants?
Because of what it came, and when Mark used the F word.
The F word?
Yes.
You mean that same F word that ends with a Y?
I cannot repeat to you on this here.
No, you can't tell me on the ear, but give me an idea. There are many words that start with F, but is that F word?
F off.
Okay, F off. Okay, you're saying that Mark Golding said that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's your account, all right?
And then the Campbell respond by trying to quash the word and said anything that Ian Hales wants. Who is Ian Hales? Ian Hales was a first that seeking defeat where Mark Meadows is today. Who is Ian Hales? A former member of parliament for Western Hanover and a couple Sundays ago. Mark Golding about it. And Ian Hales as a former member of parliament, a former region chairman, and the vice president of the People's National Party in charge of County of Cornwall could not accompany the party leader go.
Why him couldn't go with him?
Because the people, maybe he would not be alive today.
Oh? That's how strongly the people are against Ian Hales?
People tell Mark Golding, nobody bother and carry Ian Hales.
So is it, based on the history you gave Lawton Mackenzie about yours relative to Ian Hales' history, is it that your problem with Ian Hales is about how he conducts his politics?
I can give you more.
Yes.
Ian Hales is a power grabber. And if it was not for Ian Hales, the People's National Party, and I'm warning the PMP throughout Jamaica, Ian Hales come to me and ask me to overthrow DK Duncan for and make him be a region chairman. And I told him, no.
Oh.
He successfully removed DK Duncan, remove Life Beast Smith, and put a lady who is associate to him. And the war started. We are 2 terms out of office by a power grabber who has just jumped from the Jamaica Labour Party and come into the People's National Party.
All right. So you see what I'm saying? Now that I got settled down and got lots of stuff dealt with, you wonder who runs an organization like that? You know, let me see. Who runs an organization like that, where you treat people with total disregard? You just address them any old way, and then you expect people to show you respect. And that, to me, as the saying goes, that is not cool. That certainly is not cool. And that is what the people in the party are now putting up with, where they are. Let me see if I can get something here until I get something that's going. All right. Okay. Here's another thing I wanted to get up there. Here's my live stream here. All right, ticker. Wait me a second. Not seeing my ticker. All right, here, I found it. Okay. I put that up there because if somebody wishes to call and to join, you can use that number. It is wherever you are, it's going to be a free call. All right, let me, since I stopped for a second, let me just see who. Somebody might have said something, and we sing. I'm going to get it on my phone here. All right, let me just post that. All right, there's 1 second. Let me just get our artist out, and then I have to do something here. All right, so we see where the friction continues, the noise is continuing. Just recently, I heard again. I don't even want to make this about Mark Bowling, so I'm going to stick to these councillors. But it's to say that the party is operating like a rudderless ship, literally like a rudderless ship. It's just out in the sea, going on the high seas, going around in circles, and nobody seems to know where it's going. All right. Right. Nobody seems to know where it's going. I think I'm going to have a little bit of problem this evening because I switched something and it seemed like it didn't settle. So these men, people, grown men, are having this difficult time with Mark Golding, and he's not seeming to be able to find the right word, or he doesn't have the patience, or he seems like he's short-tempered or something, because it's just one person after the other walking away from the party, and because they love politics so much, they just decided, you know what, we're not even going to be bothered with this guy. We're just going to go there and we are going to represent. We're going to just represent people, and wherever it lands, it lands. But the party is seeming to suffer for it. The party is now suffering for it, because here is that man you just listened to. That's Mr. Again, I just want to remind you of his name. He's a Mr. Lawton and Lawton Mackenzie. Mr. Lawton Mackenzie, and he's from the Grange Hill Division in Western Westmoreland. Not so long ago, we heard when Lawton Mackenzie and two other gentlemen got together. One is James, I forgot the other guy's name now, but there are three of them who walked away from the party. I think two went back to the party, but Lawton is not about to go back and take any more of the insults or the ill treatment, and he's out there on his own. And if he even doesn't win that seat, he has a strong likelihood of costing the PNP, costing the JLP a seat in Western Westmoreland. One that I think they were claiming that they have it in the bag, but with all of what is going on, recently when a report came out that there were 36 independent candidates who are vying for a seat in the local government system right throughout the island. All 36 of them, 36 of them got nominated back in February 8th and are now preparing for the elections, which maybe, where are we now? It's the 26th, and we know more about less than 10 days or whatever. We are away from this thing, and it's gonna be very telling at the end of the day what the outcome of all of this is. Let me see if I can bring in something else. Oh, let me again give a little report on Mr. Lawton James. Mr. Lawton James is due to be on the program this evening. He was not able to come on right now because he's out in the field. This is why I make sure I didn't put his name out there early, because we know we were playing by ear. And when you're out in the field and, one thing leads to another, sometimes you could be out there until midnight and past midnight just getting things done. And he has promised to come on, and he has asked me to call him at 9 o'clock. Now, there's no guarantee if I'll get him or not, but I will call him. And we're going to see, we're going to try to make a program of it. And I would love to have him, and I'm looking forward to that. There's one other lady I have who we're going to hear from, and that lady is Miss Lydia Richards. Oh, there is before I go to Lydia Richards, because we're going to hear from Larkin a little bit, and hopefully I can get him at 9. I think I have a little bit of problem, but I try to see how best I can do it. Recently, with my thing here, all right. Recently, well, this morning, in the Observer, an article came up with this lady. She wrote something in the Observer, and the title of it says, "When You Fall on Your Own Sword," and that is one of our favorite people in Jamaica, and this is Lisa Hanna. And Lisa wrote this article this morning about when you fall on your own sword, and she's speaking directly to one of the people we are going to be talking about, or we're going to bring in and listen to her voice. And that is Miss Lydia Richards. This article is about Lydia Richards. And so this one is about Lydia Richards, where she's addressing Lydia and just telling Lydia that, just what happens, when you behave or do certain things, you end up falling on your own sword. I'm going to go to the articles, and if I can stay, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to put my face up here to read, but I think this has stalled a bit on this thing. Let's see what's going on here. This one is lagging so far behind. But anyway, let me see if I can get to reading this. I hate putting my face up there because it says, Lydia, why are you going independent? This is Lisa calling on Lydia to tell her, she's asking her, why are you going independent? And she went on to say, because I was thrown out of the party. I don't know why, but I have been here for 20 years. 15 of those years I've been on my own, and the party seemed to think that I have some energy, good. I have done done enough good work, I imagine, and so they want to find somebody. They want to find somebody else. And I think she asked, all right, let me see if I can get it on my phone here, because I just hate doing what I was doing just now. Bear with me. Let me get this thing on my phone here. I'm going to see. I don't know what this thing is so, the delay is so long. One time I'm trying to get this thing up here where I can read it. But it is an article where Lisa is trying. All right, here's the person where I can get this from. And as soon as I get it open, all right, here it is. And I'm going to read it. All right. Okay, so I got it on my phone now. It's better now. It's because I was the question is, Lydia, why are you going independent? And then there's a in quotes a paragraph here, and it said, because I was thrown out of the party. I don't know why, but I have been here for 20 years. 15 of those years I've been on my own, and the party seems to think that I've done enough good work, I imagine, and so they want to find somebody else. And this is what she's saying, Lisa, in the report. At the end of that sentence, you see there's an indication. If you can get it up on your screen, you can see it. This is Lydia reacting to a question from CVM News on February 8th. And she probably was being a little bit tongue-in-cheek with the thing. I'm going to take down some of these things so we can actually see everything. So this one, I'm going to take this out. Yeah, so we can see more of it. Even I'm going to take out that number scrolling across. I'm going to take this one out also. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time with that. I'll try in between. But it continues to say Lydia Richards was elected councillor for the Bensonton division on June 19, 2003. She was one of the 3 Southeast St. Anne councillors who orchestrated the ousting of the former MP Alun Asamba from the Southeast St. Anne, from Southeast St. Anne, not allowing her to finish her first term as an elected representative. So Lisa is reporting here that this lady, Lydia Richards, was one of those people who pushed out Aluna Asamba. And I want to push this out for a minute so we can see more of that. Okay, it's fully in the screen now. So she did an article in the newspaper this morning, the Observer this morning. And in this article, she's showing you some of the things behind this lady named Lydia who was pushed out. I said, so the article went on, whoever is doing this writing, I think it's the same thing that it's Lisa Anna who's writing. And she said, notwithstanding Councillor Richards and other councillors opposing my entry to the seat, I was elected as a member of parliament in 2007 and 3 times since. So this is actually, yes, this is Lisa speaking. And she's saying, after Lydia Richard and the gang pushed out Aluna Samba out of the seat, Lisa Anna was sent to fill the vacancy. And she won the election that came around. Apparently at a special election or something, or election was called just around the time. But she won it. And what she's saying is that from that time, things were never made easy for her. So she continues in the next, I'll go to the next document. Wait, bear with me a second. I go here. I'm going to go to the next document, this one here. All right. And so she's saying that now in my fourth term, I watched this new clip from Councillor Lydia Richards, now an independent candidate, in disbelief on nomination day, wondering if she was aware of what she was saying. Why? It was not the party that threw her out. It was the financial delegates of the PNP groups of her division who did. So Lydia is saying that the party threw her out, but what's her name? Lisa is saying, oh no, it wasn't the party that threw you out. It was the groups, the financial managers in the groups who threw you out. And so that story doesn't cut. I'm going to bring in Lydia speaking after we have gone through these documents, because I think this is kind of important that we are watching. People are trying to get elected. How are they going to get elected? And Lydia Richards, who in her times when she was in a stronger position in the party, she would push out some of the strongest people in Jamaica, because Luna Asamba was quite a powerful person in the People's National Party. And it said that she orchestrated the chasing away of Aluna Samba. Then came Lisa Hanna, and we know that Lisa Hanna was having some very hard time, and Lisa is now reporting that Lydia was responsible for the tough times that she experienced. So now I'm gonna switch to the if I can get over there fast enough. The next slide is on the door, on the thing, so I'm gonna have to wait, because the phone and the laptop, they're running on two, a delayed thing between both of them. So if you can read, oh boy, if you can read what is up there, I'm gonna ask you to do that. Yeah. Let me see something here. It's really tough here on me. Right. So let me see if I can put my face up there. I hate doing this, but I have to wait. I'm not going to do that. So we have these documents from Lisa, and you know this is getting, as I say, interestinger and more uninterestinger. Man, all right. Shucks. And I hope you can read it because I'm not going to even try. But I'm going to go through these slides, and hopefully, when things catch up again on my phone, I can deal with it better. Because the thing here is even blocking some of what I'm trying to read. Elected chairman of this. I'm okay. So what Lisa is saying, I'm still elected chairman of the South East Constituency Executive on July 15, 2023. I was copied on a letter to the party's general secretary from the Bensonton groups outlining their desire to remove her as the councillor. So what Lisa is actually showing her here is that while she's saying that she was pushed out by the party, it is saying that it is the people in her own division that did it. And Lisa, because Lisa is still a chairman of the area, she got hold of this document which outlined what happened with Lisa and not Lisa, with Lydia. And so it continues to say that we, the undersigned, those are the members of the People's National Party in the Bensonton division, declare that we have zero confidence in the current PNP standard bearer and councillor, Comrade Lydia Richards. We are not prepared to continue with her, and as such, give notice that as the financial group members of the PNP Bensonton division and following the party's constitution, we proceed to select a new standard bearer to represent the Bensonton division. Then I go to the next document because I'm going to try to go through them fast. It said 125 of the 142 Bensonton delegates claimed, the delegates, almost 90% signed the letter. The people chose the vice chairman of the constituency executive and chairman of the Bensonton division for over 10 years, Mr. Clovis Jr. Gohagan, as their candidate and the party. After considering all the evidence and speaking with Lydia on several occasions, they went ahead and ratified Junior's candidacy, which is Mr. Gohagan. No, because this thing is kind of it's a little slow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call and I'm going to pull up Lydia's information, and just in case Mr. Lawton is ready, I don't want to delay him any at all. So let me do this. Lydia. All right. So
Miss Lydia, the first question I want to ask you, ma'am. Yes, and you are. I'm not over-egging the pudding to say that you're a legend in those parts in Bensonton. Everybody knows you, and you've worked for the people for 20 years. But let me ask you this. Yeah. Why are you declaring your continued love for people who don't want you anymore?
No, it has nothing to do with the people who don't want me. This has to do with the People's National Party from Michael to Norman those days. From when my father was a councillor and what I know from then. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What we stood for. Not these people who just come in now and decide that everywhere down the line, down the ladder, way from the bottom rung, you can decide who is going to run from who is not going to run, and decide who is going to run because you're honey. Because that's the only thing I could come up with.
So let me clarify something. What you're saying is that you remain in love with the Manley PNP, but the Mark Golding PNP, you don't so love it anymore.
No, but even with the Mark Golding, but there are some people in there who I don't understand them none at all. As a matter of fact, they don't understand themselves. Because if they did, they would have seen that you can't have somebody like a Lydia in a division who has been doing well over time, notwithstanding getting nothing from the Member of Parliament, notwithstanding having no representation from the Member of Parliament. Yet when the Member of Parliament was struggling, I came out for the PNP.
You're talking, of course, Lisa Hanna in Southeast St. Anne, right? You're talking Lisa Hanna in Southeast.
Yes, I got out my bed when the people called me and told me what was happening. I got out my bed. A guy that I never spoken for 8 years called me, and I rushed him, and then somebody else called me because I wouldn't listen to him, and I got out my bed and started moving and getting out the people. Yes.
Hold the line, Lord Mackenzie. We're going to take a break and come right back. So, Lord Mackenzie, at this stage of the...
All right, so he was talking to, the interviewer was speaking to both people, Lord Mackenzie and Lydia, and that's why you heard him call his name. But that lady you saw on the screen, that's Miss Lydia Richards, and she over a period of time, that name was always being called up, and a lot of times I'd say not for any good reason, because people develop a resentment to her. And I think she was kind of responsible for helping to push, she was responsible for helping to push Lisa off the train. As I said, throw Mama off the train. She was able to throw Lisa off the train. And now let me just put a little something here. Sometimes when you're in a position, you see, and people are abusing you, and you're getting this abuse over and over, and nobody's saying anything, nobody's doing anything, and then suddenly when you move out of the way, they need somebody. These are people who need somebody to beat up on. So when she stepped out of the range, when Lisa stepped away, even though she's still around, she didn't retire, she didn't resign, she didn't do anything. She just announced that she would be stepping away. So it left Miss Lydia to face, after a while, they now, I suspect, they started to have ambitions to say who would become the leader, because they pushed the leader, Lisa, overboard. And they're going to look to say who's now going to be this leader. And then because you have this weird, strange operation at headquarters, where they will pick up some people who have no connection to the division or the constituency or anything, which is creating this whole heap of dissonance within the organization. They are alone because Lisa is not there. The beating, whatever, the Pinada is not there. She's gone. And they're looking at each other, and it appears they started some kind of circular, squad, but they're firing squad. And so now Lydia, who is one of the bulls in the pen, she became the victim, and they pushed her out, because this is what Lisa is saying when she looked at those documents, to say that it wasn't the party that pushed her out, it was the constituency. So they sent this new guy in the constituency, which you heard her mention. They sent this new guy in there, and some guy named Junior, and it's just not working out for Lydia. And so Lydia herself has now suffered the same fate which she has pushed other people into, where she got thrown overboard. And she's trying to give a story. She gave a story to CVM television in Jamaica that it was the party, but Lisa came out this morning, and you know, now I'm regretting I didn't print it because I would prefer to have it in my hands. Lisa came out this morning and to say, yo, you know, it didn't go that way. You know, it didn't go that way. I got hold of the letter. They wanted you out. The people in the division wanted you out. They're tired of you. And they said to scoot. And so this is Lydia, one of the people who potentially would have been, you know, somebody who would have been the person to take over, but they said no. And so what has happened, she has found herself outside. Now, where it is bad for her, and that's why I have to ask question, how is she going to do this? You know, how is she going to win an election? Because guess what? It's not the party headquarters, it appears to be blazing the fire under her feet. It is the people themselves. So how do you win an election like that? You know, how do you really win an election like that? How do you get in there with when the people are against you? They have turned against you. You were the one of the ones who was there pushing fire on other people. Now you are the one who is receiving the thing, and how are you going to win without the people? What time is it now? I promised the gentleman asked me to call him at 9, and I'm going to try to call him at 9. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, well. But I will continue. So that is the thing. So that's one of the things. We talk about the Lawton Mackenzie, his situation, how it looks, that is he going to be able to break through? Because he thinks he's strong, and it sounds to me like he has a good organization. Because last night I was on the phone with him, and 2 of his people came on the phone too, and these are some of his organizers, and they were out in the field working. And this evening, again, just to repeat a little, this evening, even though I didn't announce his name for this particular reason, because when you're out there, you don't know when you're going to find time. And he asked me, said, please, can you call me at this time? And I'm going to try to do that. And so with that, we see where, you know, Lawton Mackenzie is one of them. Lydia Richards is one of them. Lydia's story sounds to me very shaky, but Lawton, we know that at some point we might get a breakthrough with one of these independent candidates. And the thing to do is to try to get to Mr. Lawton to see how, you know, how he will manage with this thing. How will he manage to break through? Does he have it? He said, yes, I have it. One of the clips, I think the last clip, let me go for it. He said he has it, and he can prevail.
Stage of the game, having served for so long, what has compelled you to continue to fight and to fight as an independent in this election at the risk of causing the PNP to lose the division?
Listen, I am going to win, and the figures are there, and the workers are there. Let me remind you, and the genuine old persons like Desmond Leakey and others will remind you that Norman Manley, the figure 4 is a serious number to the People's National Party.
Also,
when Norman Manley expelled the H's, Norman Manley lost his seat and was not even his opposition's spokesperson in Parliament. It was Dr. Lai from the seat that Lisa had. I am giving you all of this. Mark Golden need to look at the numbers that are playing around him. And the bunch of losers. The bunch of losers.
who you calling the bunch of losers?
Peter Bunton, Jason Gamber, all of them cannot go back to their constituency. I have seen greater politicians than them lose and in Jamaica. If you can't go back to your yard, something wrong.
So you're saying... So hold on, Lord.
Why do you go back and sentence where you're born and grow?
Yes, so you're saying...
People have Eastern, Westmoreland and alone.
So you're saying that Bunting having lost in Central Manchester, you're saying him can't go back. And and Dayton can't be Northwest St. and can't go back.
Can't go back. And Ian Hills cannot drive through Lucy. And I hope he don't get punctured.
I hear you.
That is the type of person we have taken decision from the party.
So, Mr. Mackenzie, I see you've made a distinction between the PNP president, Mr. Golding, and those in his upper executive, so to speak. Is it that your grievance is not with the party leader, but them specifically, and you don't hold any ill will towards Mr. Golding for the decisions he's made by putting them in place?
I am saying I have spoken to several persons, and the question, if when the party is ready to be reshuffled, and I get a leader that I feel can put a team together, they can call me any second, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So Mark Golding can't put a team together is what you're saying?
Because he might remove those persons.
Oh, so if he removes those persons, you'll be willing to listen to willing to talk about going back?
And at the same time, if we win the general election, he cannot name them minister without portfolio.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Lydia. Lawton, you have the final word from the Lawton Mackenzie election day?
Yes, sir. I would like you to ask me the same similar question.
Yeah, man.
Warren Lickerton
yes.
left Jamaica before me.
All right. That was leading up into a different issue, which I don't wish to get involved with. It's some kind of personalized thing. It's very personal. And I don't know the story well enough. I can't start calling people's names and get myself involved, and I don't know who is who. So I'm leaving that one. But let me just quickly look. A couple of people have made comments on it. Allen, Massa Maawk, Kids Combo Meals, Dayton, Hills, and Taunted Bunting, Mashup PNP Live. Then Ruth Bailey, let me know she's here. Royal Jamaica and Karen Cross, Independence, have a good chance. Lydia has 0 chance. She's going into permanent retirement. Karen, I tell you, I don't know the story fully with this lady, but if you have the organizers, the people in your division who have voted to move you out, and they voted 90% to vote you out, I'm not sure if she shouldn't be looking for a different division and go try and make some friends with them people move in the area and go try and see if she can fit in somewhere else, because you lose that support. You lose that local support. I can't see where you're going with, where you're going after that. I think it's a little bit ridiculous why that she would want to be hanging in there to say she's going to run or she's going to represent that constituency. That is really doesn't look like it makes much sense to me. And I just believe she should be looking to push off to discover new lands, because that, to me, that's a dead story. Because she made it, she's one of the ones I understand who made life miserable for Lisa. And it's just that the thing is a little difficult to read. I should have printed it off and have it in my hands. I read it better that way. When I'm sticking my makeup and my face in the thing and I can't see it fast enough, I'm moving fast enough on my phone, I just leave it alone. But again, it's coming up. It's 9 o'clock. If bear with me, I'm gonna see if I can get Mr. This is gonna be problematic for me, but I have to do this and see if I can get him. And let me see if I can get Mr. Lawton here. If he doesn't answer, then that's it. But I'll let everybody hear this call going through. Let's bear with me a second. Let me see if I get Mr. Lawton here.
I'm sorry, but the person you have called is unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone.
All right, so we're not gonna leave a message. Hopefully his people will hear. I did speak to him, not so long ago. So and he's out in deep rural Jamaica, so maybe he can't even get Wi-Fi where he is and all of that, and probably was hoping to get back to his base and all of that. So, but if I should get him this week, and it, like one day when he's at his base where he can speak, because he had a nice idea plan that we would have done this evening, and it didn't work out. So we're just going to leave it alone and look to another evening and try to kind of say as much and do as much as we can to keep this program going. I don't know if anybody who is listening to this program now, who might want to make a contribution. I know some of the champions are around, and if they feel like they want to, come in, call that number on the screen. It's free. What is that? Oh, that is my my phone, my thing here. So you can call in, and it will come up on the screen, and we can chat about something, because this is crucial. This is very important. This local government election that is taking place, somewhere in all of this, I feel like the importance of local government is kind of beginning to register in people's heads, to say this is important. When you don't get your garbage collected, when you don't get enough street lighting, when the water doesn't work properly, when the roads are bad, this is where you start. You start at the local government level. And at this stage of the game, this is where you people try to pick those who will represent them at this, we call granular level, micro level. You tend to see the persons at the local level quicker than you would see the MP, because the MP probably can just pass through once a week because he's in town. Maybe, I don't know how often they meet, and they will have the times when they meet with their representative, with the constituents, and they have the constituents, the conference, which comes once a year and all that kind of stuff. But the local representative is a person you see every day. If he's that drinking type of man, you will see him at the bar. You will see him in whatever capacity, maybe the church. You might go to your church, and you can easily reach him and say, hey, the road is bad. Whether it's going to be, if he's a good representative, he will do what he has to do to push, to get response from the people, from those in charge, those who hold the big purse string. Craig Oates used to do a thing, which is, that one is a shocker to everybody. Craig Oates used to be out there in the trenches with the people every day, patching roads, bushing. I don't even know. I think he was using his own money. And whether it was he was doing it to fool somebody, but even that was to me worth something. Because he went out there, and he was out there doing all he had to do, physically doing it himself. He fixed play fields. He had soccer teams. He had corner league soccer games, all kind of things, which the kind of thing are real, or he was doing the kind of things that a good representative should be doing on a daily basis. He didn't just get elected to the council. He gets his check, and he goes off, and he doesn't see the people. Whether he was going to be the same way if elected, but Craig Oates was showing this promise of being a good local representative. But somebody on Hope Road is, decided, no, this is not who we want. They wanted somebody, and they sent somebody there, and the people say, no, we don't want that person. So what has been happening is that every time they do these kinds of things, when people say, no, we're not going to go up with this, we're not going to put up with this, we're going to put our own people. Are we going to we have now reached the point of going independent. No, Jamaica has grown into this kind of mold where it's just the MPs that we tend to look to and work with and believe in, and whatever come hell or high water, it's the MP. But with what Craig Oates was doing was showing that, yeah, this is how local government representatives should be. You should be there with the people because you are the ones. If it means you have to say to the people, look, the road down there is bad. We can't wait for government. Let's buy a little bit of marl and some, a little bit of marl and some whatever they call it, the blacktop thing, the tar, the asphalt, and let's patch it ourselves. I think he was doing things like that because you can go around to the business people. If you have a good community representative, that good community representative would know how to meet with the business people to know that, yeah, your goods are coming through this, driving on these roads. We have seen goods truck turning over because somebody might have been trying to swing away from a pothole. They might have fell into a pothole and the truck turn over, and you're losing, you miss your chance of getting your supplies. That is which you depend on to make your business successful. And if you're not getting the supply in time, you're not going to make that money you need. And sometimes it's your own truck and you send off it and it's going to cost you because you lost those goods. So if within your community and you say, here's a man who you have seen working, then that to me would be somebody to talk to and say, listen, I see you working hard. What can we do to fix it? And he can say, well, we can get some asphalt here. We can get some marl here. We have, there's a gentleman who lives in the community. He has a truck. Maybe somebody there who has some contact with the marl people who would have these quarries who could give some load for less than. And maybe even somebody to say, hey, we need some asphalt here to cover this marl. So at that level, when you have that person energetic, working hard, I think that's what you need for a local government. Some people are just in it just for what they can get. Some people they're just there for what they can get. I've been hearing about one local government, what they call it, municipality. I think it was one, Lucy. Every I tell you, it's like almost every other, maybe 4 or 5 years, here's somebody going to court. I think even Ian Hales has a case in court with the local government situation. Every now and then you hear them mixed up in something in Lucy, and you wonder what type of people are these? Because there is one nasty one going on out there right now with the mayor of Lucy, and it's not the first time his name was called up in stuff. So you wonder, what is it that people want to do? Do they want to help your communities? Do they want to see the communities become better? Or do they want to see how much money or whatever they can get, what kind of slush they can get from the coffers? And I want to try to see if I can, I don't know, more things are showing on my computer than I'm seeing here, but I'll read what I can see here. Max Romy is a Royal Jamaica, bless up. Max Romy, mail up also. Annette Allen, bless up. And Laura Allen says she's here. Annette Allen says, Max blessing, you're so nice. You appreciate that, Annette. Everall Malcolm, I am joining YouTube channel, Mr. Perkins, this evening. I'm a busy person. I am joining your YouTube channel. Thank you, sir, Everall Malcolm. I don't know. Is it that people have difficulty getting onto YouTube? I try to share my thing with, and this should be on Facebook. So but then when you go to Facebook, it will take you into YouTube. So let me know if you find it difficult to get on. So I have to figure out something different. But the thing about the local government, back to what I was saying, the local government is a very, 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 very important leg or arm of any government. And when we have good representatives, we should cherish them. We should, because some people really have good, genuine hearts of wanting to do good by the people in their community. You live in a community, you love your community, you know that it's just a matter of somebody taking up the mantle and saying, you know what, I'm going to be a leader of this community. And I'm not just going to lead, I'm going to be at the council meeting. I want to be elected at the council level where I can make my input. You know, England is a place that, and this must be them this concept come from. But England, I went to England a couple of times. And most times when you hear people talk in England, you know, it's about the council, what the council them call, even the housing that they get, it's a council housing. It's about the council. So the council is supposed to be an organization that's supposed to play a very, very vital role in your community. The betterment or the upliftment or the maintenance of your community. Where I live, we don't have the kind of council. Them have some different names for it. They call it where we live. They have a different name for it. But it's that local level people, not so much the congressman or the senators. Even though you can see the congressman and senators, but you don't see them as easily as you would see the ones who operate at a level almost after the same order like council, because they live in the community. You have to live in the community, and you can see them, and you can invite them to your church. You can invite them to your functions. You know, I happen to have been a member of a number of little civic organizations. And then when you would go and they would have functions and these guys would come, quite a number of them would come in, you know, sometimes they come from neighboring towns because they value what, you know, the relationship between themselves and the communities. Because when it comes to voting time, they know that if you're not for them, they're dead, you know? So they try to show up to all of these. Yeah, they call it actually it's like for instance, when I live with something called Brookhaven Town Council, and you go to the town hall meetings and them have the town hall meetings and nice big fabulous place, and you go in there and you can go there and you can raise all of your concerns, and they take you very seriously because they have hundreds of other people behind them who are standing by waiting to take, you know, get your seat to drive you out of town, you know. So we just think that Jamaicans need to get serious with this council thing. Don't just treat it, they're not going to do anything. All of them want to be in those seats because one, they're getting better pay now. Two, it's a nice thing when you have some kind of importance attached to you. You're the councillor for the area. You go anywhere and say, I'm the councillor for the Bensonton division. You know, people are going to look at you and talk to you in a different way than if you're just a regular citizen who come around the place. No matter how much money, if you show the man the money, how much money you have, it might don't even look for you. But if you come try and say, hey, and you know, want anybody know too much down in Jamaica, say you have plenty of money either. But you come as a councillor and you are the person who everybody's looking to, you know, then you're gonna work. My thing is, if I were a councillor in a division, I would not even be so much waiting on the central government to support the community. I'd be going out and establishing relationships with the business community. Sometimes it's not even within your immediate area, because say for instance, people in Westmoreland, the tourists coming in, they want to see the areas, even though they try to keep them in. But if your area is nicely kept, the market is, it's people in Jamaica don't even realize how important markets are to a society. Markets, you go to Africa, markets is one of the most important things, even though some people might have some little mental, distortion about when you say Africa. But African countries are developed countries. Don't make anybody fool you. They are developed countries. Nice high-rise, highways, all anything you see in North America, you see in Jamaica. They are right there in Africa, all over. Of course, the Western press, they will go and pick some nonsense and show you hungry belly. Yeah, they have hunger. And they have starved. They have hunger in America. They have hunger in Russia. They have it in China. As rich as they are, they have hunger in those places. So Africa is not the only one. But the thing about it, the markets are special place. I remember that guy who was running Digicel. He was going to develop the downtown Kingston to the point where he would have it in such a way that he would go to have dinner in the market district. It is true. When one of the places they call in England, they call Piccadilly Circus or Piccadilly Circus, something like that. It's a whole almost like a market scene. And it's exciting, and it's where a lot of the action and all of the young people and everybody hanging out in those places. So markets are very important, and we need people who understand these things. Parks, which is what I've been preaching to Holness. Parks are important things to a municipality, to a community. I see where he's now looking at rationalizing some of the exits off of the highways, because they were building these highways with no ramps, with no exit ramps. So you'd be stuck on the highway for miles, and you'd have to go 20, 30 miles, don't have to drive 20, 30 miles, and then you come back to the town and it's congested. And he said he's going to be looking at it. I'm asking him again, please look at the park, give back that Heroes Park to people. It has way more value as a park than putting a parliament there. So all these kind of things, your local representative should be fighting for you. You should be putting pressure on your local representative to see if you can get, some kind of response from them. Somebody feeling sorry for me and come to help me out this evening. So, Peter, what's going on?
Well, Mr. Perkins, I've been listening to your program, and I tell you the truth, I really do agree with you about the parks and all that stuff. We do need parks for the young people, and to come and ease off some of the stream that is going on in the society here. It's very important that we have that, because one of the things that they have found is that when you have more parks, you have less violence.
Yep.
You have less stress.
Yep.
You have less people unhappy.
Yeah.
And again, also, I wanted to point out that you're doing a very good job at talking about that highway system, in which we need more exits on that highway, man. We have a highway system in Jamaica. People just drive from point A to point B. And have no highway.
No, I tell you something before. Let me continue a little bit. I went on the one from, where is it? It's from, that picks up somewhere just outside of Kingston, or just at the borderline, 6 miles or whatever they call it. And I got on the highway. It was either we were going or coming. But there was no exit because we were going to Old Harbor. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but you drive this hell of a long distance and there was no exit. And because we missed and we had to go back, turn and drive a long way back to Spanish, it was ridiculous. So somewhere in there, all they were thinking about was the tolls. And all of the highways here, they put the ramps, exit ramps. You have the entry and exit ramps. And if you're going to come off before the end of the toll, you pay a small, half or whatever you pay at the end of the thing. But those who were planning it, they thought they would just trap people. And then with that, people realize if you go up on that thing and you don't have the money to pay, you're going to be stuck. And so people just don't bother to go up there and get themselves in trouble. And they stay on the road and congest the place. The place become congested.
And don't forget also, Mr. Perkins, they don't have no good drainage. The rain fall and it's set on the highway because there's no drainage, Mr. Perkins.
Right,
and
this is what I was saying with the people. If we were to get people involved, not necessarily just a little guy with, because they're saying somebody write his name, this man out in him named Junior, the one in Sessa. I had a discussion coming up, and I kind of stepped kind of wide of it. But one of the things coming out is that this man could be, whatever you want to call it, literary challenged. And it's kind of, I didn't want to get into it, but somebody saying, ask him. In fact, Lydia is the one who's saying, ask him what he has, what's his qualification? Because the announcer was saying to her, or the interviewer was saying to her, hey, you ask him. She said, no. You are an interview, you're doing interview. You call that man and you ask him, try to get from him thing. Not that, necessarily if you can read and write to be a good person or a person who can know how to get things done. Because there are some names out there probably shouldn't do it. But in Mandeville era, there was a man in there for the longest time. He was one of the best mayors Jamaica has ever seen, and it was believed that he wasn't the sharpest upstairs in terms of book smart. But he was something after that order. But he was a great mayor up to this day. Most mayors try to reach his height. And he have families and things, so he would have a family there. I don't want to call about the name and go hear some thing. But I know he was from Mandeville for many years and thing. So if but then we have a lot of young people go university and then come back. I think some of these and them have a better, so especially the ones who live out of the country for a little while and they were exposed. I think we need to see more of some of these people coming forward, meeting with people in their areas, in their divisions or their constituency, wherever they meet, and try to get involved in these kind of things, because sometimes we just leave it to the, the lowest denominator, I think, and we need to just try and see if we can, just like how they're converting the police, trying to transform the police to a higher standard of education. I think that the local government thing needs to be looked at too, to elevate some of these people, because we need people who, because if you are there as a local government representative, think about it, and you can go into a community and you make this community shine, you're going to be looked up. The man who is a mayor of Kingston, he should be fighting for that park. It's right, and I think he represents the people near to that park. But he's there just to say he's the mayor, but not serving any purpose. That kind of thing. Go ahead. I got in on your thing.
But Mr. Perkins, that is the point of the whole thing about this independence movement. Despite what Mr. Patterson was saying, I call them independence, Mr. Perkins, because they're independent of the system, they're independent of the parties, of the PNP and the JLP. These are independent-minded people say we're not tolerating the two-party system anymore. And that's why we call them independents, Mr. Perkins. And they represent 63% of the voters of this country.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to say to you is that, listen, whether you believe in the PNP or JLP, you can believe in the independent movements as well.
Yes.
Give the independent people a vote, whether you want to protest them or whether you want to come out and say you like to look at them here or whatever. Your vote is the reason why you want to vote. You vote for whatever reason and you cast your vote for whatever reason you want to give.
Yes.
But these are independent voters, and people must start to come and flex their muscle now and say to the Jamaican people and say, listen, we want better. We want better from our party. We want better for our children.
But the point, Peter, that I'm making, sometimes I'm thinking we like to just put it on somebody else to do it. But I just think it's time now that we start looking, can we be that person? And this is what I'm saying, because these massive numbers of people who have decided to step back, and some of them have not yet label themselves as independents, but that's who they are in this country. You don't like the Democrat and don't like the Republicans, and so you become an independent voter. You're waiting to see which one of them is going to say something that will benefit your. Because what we are looking for at the end of the day is somebody to serve our own interest. See, and the ones who we think will serve it in the best way. So it doesn't necessarily mean you must put the dunces people there because, oh, yeah, it's just local government and just like, no, local government, it's a serious thing. I know you live where you live in Queens. The local government is the more responsible for things than
they fix the roads, they fix the schools, and fix the
Yes.
highway, Mr. Perkins.
Yeah.
They also come and talk about the police. They're important as hell, Mr. Perkins.
Yes. And so that is what I was going to say. We need, that's why it's so important. If people would understand the value of these 63% of people who have pulled away from the regular PNP, JLP nonsense, and say, you know what, if it's 1,000 people voting for one person, let me work for the next 4 years. Start to tell people, listen, you see the next election that comes around, I want to be your representative. I'm an engineer, I am an accountant, wherever. I'm a business person, I understand what this community needs, and we're not getting things. You don't have to be from the PNP or the JLP. You can quietly go and sell yourself to these people and become their representative. One day they did a serious thing. I forgot to mention the young lady, Venetia Phillips, who she ran up into a lot of disrespect. It seemed like it's a thing with the PNP where you're going there and these riser people are going there to disrespect mainly women. And a lot of these women are pulling back themselves. I'm saying if Venetia should go over there and she doesn't do well, she should, because she's a person who is into our community a lot. She shouldn't have to run back to say the JLP. She should be able to go there and represent her. Say, those people look like they were ready to, wherever you want to go, Venetia, we will go. I want to see more people like her with some common sense and things go moving forward and saying, listen, I'm going to represent this place. I'm going to represent my community. I want to be the person you come knock on my door, and tell me you have an issue. Can you do? And I should be able to go have a number with the Prime Minister and say, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. whoever, we need help on it. It's bad, and we're going to be blocking the roads come Monday morning. It will come out as fast as them things because them don't want to see that. Those are the kind of advocacy that I think is lacking right now in Jamaica. That kind of serious advocacy, that kind of serious taking action, taking things in your hands and say, this is my community. I'm not going to allow it to leave us living with garbage piling up and rats and all kind of roach and things growing up in our country. I roam the place. You have a thing we call them. You have a thing in Jamaica. Them call the animal shelter people. Them forget them. They have a name. Them actually have vehicles and they go around and collect animals off the street. But boy, this is part of the disappointment. And we have to blame ourselves for it because when the other people were there in charge, them used to run it that way, Then that make no garbage pile up or no much to community dog and no cows roam in the street and goats roam in the street. They have some trucks that they send out and pick them up. So if you want to cows, then you go to build a pen for them because it has come to be known now, allowing some of these animals to roam is not necessarily the best way to take care of animals. You need when they keep them. Damien is now a big time goat farmer, and I was listening to him one day, and he said they have come to realize that if you keep the animals in a pen, they are way more healthier than when you leave them to roam, because when they pass their waste, it goes in the grass and they eat the grass and they develop all kind of parasites and all them things. So no animal should have to be on the road. All them have to do is just build a little pen and then go cut the grass themselves in the evening. So things like that. When in my days when I watched these people before, we get to this place where, you know, we start doing all kind of crazy things. So I said, people used to take their communities very seriously. Go on again, Peter.
Well, that's the point, Mr. Perkins. That is the point where we're talking about. It's not about just the party you take seriously. You take a community seriously.
Yeah.
You become an independent voter because you take your community seriously. Because you believe in the people in the community. Because you want to see better for your community. You become an independent voter.
Yeah.
And in numbers, there is strength, Mr. Perkins. If you are 60% of the electorate, there is no party, not the TMP, not the JLP, that can defeat you.
Yeah.
There is no party, Mr. Perkins, that can defeat them. There are 63% of the electorate, Mr. Perkins. But somehow or another, they have been conditioned and told not to flex their muscles.
Yeah.
You have to flex your muscle if you want some result.
Hold on 1 second, Pierre. Somebody said, so I want to read it. A gentleman named Colin White. He said, Annette Allen, how you do? You want to be in St. Thomas, out there can't hold any more green. She mess with PNP and JLP thing. Yeah. But, and I think there's somebody who sent me a message, but I won't be able to look at it until I get off. But, you know, local government is a serious thing. And if you want to see Jamaica look good, people have to start taking it serious. Stop taking it lightly. Stop treating it like it's nothing. I don't have to vote. I don't have to do anything. The MP is not going to do for you what your local representative can do for you. They're not the ones who live with you. They're supposed to live in the community. They are the ones you reach out to. They are the ones you grumble and groan and moan and till him can't take it, he or she can't take it, and they go out and they do what they're supposed to do. You know, MPs, you don't see them. And when you do see them, it's once a year or something like that. But those people who are there in the community, they are the ones. They are the ones. They live in the community, and we are wanted to encourage people to take it seriously. Let me do one thing here, Peter, before I call it. I want to try this number, see if there's any chance, because I don't want to miss an opportunity if it is possible in that. Give me 1 quick second. I'll call back this gentleman again, see if by any chance he's available, because we had a nice thing set up to do and it didn't work. So let me just do one more thing, and then I'm gonna tell everybody thanks if he doesn't answer, because he did answer earlier and he did ask me to call him back. So all right. So we'll get him another time, because he's campaigning, and that to me must be a difficult. Oh crap! I killed Peter's call. Anyway, Peter, if you listen, you don't need to call back, because I was here quite a while now. I think I must be here about a good if you're not 90 minutes already. Yeah, I was getting ready to lock it down anyway, Peter. But let's say if you have any last point you want to make, people Monday morning for Jamaica especially, Monday morning people go back to work, so we don't hold them.
Well, Mr. Perkins, I just want to say to the Jamaican people, listen, if you have breath, you have life. If you have life, you have hope. And if you have hope, you can make a change.
Yeah.
Be an independent voter and vote independent.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. With that, we're looking forward to see some people going out there. Go vote independent. Go vote for the man who put up himself, say, I'm coming out there as an independent. We need you to do that. You can send a very strong message to the status quo, to those who are in charge, those who have been making your lives miserable. If you go out there, head for those polls. You don't have to tell anybody you're going to vote for. The names are going to be on the ballot. You go there, you look for the name, who is the man who say independent, whether you know him or not, just vote for him. Vote for her. Vote for them. Because if the person who wins, or they could win, but the person who wins and him say get 600 votes and you get 500, they're going to be taking you way more serious than they have been taking you over the years. Trust me on that one. And if you go and everybody should just say, you know what? I'm not going to sit home. This is my responsibility. I need better for my community. And you go out there and you start to take charge and go vote. Get engaged. It's your community. It's very important. Go vote. and then surprise them. Because 63% of you, it means you have 2 times more people available to vote for and to get somebody, an independent person. Karen Cross, you don't see kids meal today. Kids meal baby mother in the debate last night. That debate last night again. Yeah, so that kind of thing. Yeah, debate is good, but to me, that is not even where it is. You want to grab the people who are running and you want to pressure them and you want to vote for some independence and drive the living scared daylight out of them. You will get results, way more results than them debates. As a matter of fact, you know what? We need some people to jump in, and I'm going to be coming on this program anytime I bring this program. It's going to be mainly about local government. This month is Black History Month. I didn't even bother touch that all. I need to do something one evening again, but I want to stay focused on the local government election. I want to talk to somebody about it, those who are ready to talk. We know it's a tough time because especially when you're an independent, you have to be going and you're tired and you're in the sun and the whole day and you're tired at the end of the evening. It's going to be tough. So if it means I'm going to have to record some people and bring it in and record the version, we will do that. Peter, I want to thank you for coming in here and contributing. And I look forward for other people getting over their fears and start coming as, yes, sir, Reggae Month. And by the way, I don't know, Peter, have you gone to see the Bob Marley yet? I want to say something. Let me tell you something. People only need to watch the movie and understand it's not no entertainment. It's a serious movie. Serious. When I tell you, sometimes I wonder how when these people who make these movies, if they really understand what they're doing, that the message they're sending out, subliminal message to people to understand. This man was a very powerful man. This Bob Marley man was a very powerful person, way more powerful than we just see him as a little reggae singer. I'm a popular reggae singer. This man was out of this movie. The message coming out of this movie is very deep and powerful. So I'm asking all of you support it. Way ahead of his time. And the young man, Adair, Kingsley, Benadir, he did a banged up job with it. He was really good. He might have had some challenges with the accent, but he just make it brush past years. That's not the most important thing. What he was able to do was to exude the script could be better. No, man, you have to understand. You know what I think? I bet your Colin is a kind of a guy who probably not 40 and below. I doubt him 50. The thing about it, if you were there or anywhere near the period, and if you understand what we went through, sometimes young people hear some stories and then hear one like a distorted story about what went on. And to say who Bob Marley was, where he started and what he became, and the world, not just Jamaica, it's not about Jamaica. Forget Jamaica. Jamaica is just a little dot. The 6 to 8 billion people in the earth will be watching. Most of them, if not half of them, will be watching it. When Paramount put out that picture, then they weren't even, I don't know, it's the kind of money them put into it. The money where them put in that thing is bigger than the budget of Jamaica. Trust me on it. And they're going to make big bucks out of it too. Because it's not even the Marleys own the catalog anymore. So it's them white people, when they own them and them other them thing, they mean for make money. But you have to look beyond some of the little things because you feel like this one should have been like, and that one should. No. It's a slice out of his life they took. I'm glad I'm getting a chance to talk about this a little bit. They took a small slice out of his life. It's a kind of the more spiritual part of him, the more, the kind of the philosophy side of him, the man who dared death because him feel like what he stood for was much greater and more powerful than death. So he never feared death. He looked at it and it wasn't about the money. All that kind of thing with everybody know them do something. It's about the money. Well, I don't know, yours bigger than Blackwell, but him probably a part owner because it's a huge amount of money. And if it's Blackwell, you know what? Blackwell deserved to own it. Blackwell is the man who took the chance on Bob Marley them in the early days. He took a chance on them. He gave them a good amount of money, big in those days. So what we might look at it, I think it might have been like £100,000 or something like so. And we might look at it. When he gave them that £100,000, and he gave Bob Marley the money, so go make an album. And he said a lot of people told him that they're not going to do anything with it. They're just going to spend it off. And we said, watch, them is some little Rasta man, them so Dr. Rasta head man, them not going to do it. And they went out and they made one of the best albums. You know, I think it was Catch a Fire. They made one of the best albums. And from that day, Blackwell became a disciple. And he would have done anything and everything for Bobby. Then took him to the pinnacle of whatever he was supposed to go. Unfortunately, he had to go early. But, you know, that is what you have to understand. This is not about no Jamaican, no little Jamaica foolish. This is huge. It's 8 billion people the money sell this thing to. If we don't do it in Jamaica, it take with 20, 30 years to get them place there. They will get it there in very short order. Everything have to go through Blackwell and Bob Marley Foundation. Of course, that's how life is. And that is how, you know, Blackwell, I want you to understand, Blackwell was born in Jamaica. He's like a white guy with him born in Jamaica, and he have a vested interest. And, you know, Blackwell own all them, him own a whole lot of stuff going on in Ocho Race. I don't live down if I tell you the last detail, but he put some of the money in Ocho Race, make Ocho Race a place you can go have some fun. You know, so it no matter who won it, he's a Jamaican, and he put the money where he put the money. And it worked. And him come live in a Jamaica. He gave Bob Marley the first house to live in. When Bob Marley come out when things rough, and he want to come out of the trench town settings, when he used to sleep in a little kitchen. It's Blackwell gave him his house. Tell him go and stay at the house. And Bob Marley owned the house afterwards. He probably just gifted it to him or something. But that same house, Blackwell used to own the house. And Blackwell gave it to him before Bob Marley had anything. I grew up in Kingston. I used to see Bob Marley, you understand? And when he would walk around the place, like what I say, kick stone. So he was never a rich man from day one. He was never the most popular man. He was never the most loved. The people loved him. They can tell you that. The regular people loved them. No matter sometimes I hear people say, boy, Jamaican never love him. It's not true. It's the uptown people never liked him. The woman who, our daughter, I think, is a big time. That house is now a museum. Yes, that's the one. The lady who lived behind them on the other side, one of them uptown brown woman, she used to complain every day the dirty Rastaman all them over there a bit nice. Our daughter is some big time person in the media world in America. And I saw her telling the story. Lester Holt. A lot of people might know Lester Holt. Lester Holt, them and that girl worked together and they talked about it. So we have to appreciate the thing for what it really is. And this break that we got, when the men, they spent a lot of money to get this guy Benadir up to scratch. I hear some little nuances in the accent where it kind of go off high instead of wherever we would talk like a flat or going low, carrying it up in a low tone. It was like going up in that thing. But that was least. The story, the stuff to that story, I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to set aside another evening because I think I want him to sit and watch it again, you know, forget some of these stuff, you know, capture some of what is in that movie. But go see the movie, forget about the Jamaica thing and who never get her. Hey, Muta is not looked upon as a simple guy in Jamaica. I'm not looked upon as a simple guy throughout the world. But the best Muta could have hold is a little gate man job in the movie. So you know, so you play high. When Brad Pitt was one of the executive producers, you think you get Brad Pitt to come work for Little and Nothing for nothing? They put a lot of money in that movie. And I'm going to watch and be researching and see what I can do because there's a big story behind the making. The bigger story right now to me is what is behind those who behind it, how much money was put in it, how much why they did what they did. It's a huge story being told, and we must say, thank God we have. If the man come from Jamaica and we getting the benefit of it. Because Jesus come from where he come from, Nazareth, a little poor ass place, but what? Jesus become the biggest icon in the world and Bob Marley is rising up. Marcus is there, just in there, same because people just now really discovering him. So we are blessed to get to have gotten these two great men, and there are others, we can claim. All right, so I will tell you the figure next time. Sure, do some research for me too and bring it. I appreciate it. All right, thanks, Colin. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Royal Jamaican Queen. Thanks, Peter. Thanks. What I can see right here. Yeah, thanks. I'm seeing nobody I can see right here. So thank you all for joining me and for hanging out, because this, I want to make this local government thing start to be looked at as more valuable than we are. And we want to talk some more about this Bob Marley thing. Bless everybody. Have a good night. See you all. Have a restful night. And until the next time, maybe sometime this week I'll come again. All right. Thank you.